Hi guys, welcome to another beer review, and it's a beer that I thought I had a review of, and I think I did record a review when I was uploading beer reviews on my other channel, which was my film review channel. And I think it was one of those beers where when I started the Clueless Drinker channel, I was like downloading videos off my old channel and re-uploading them, and then beers that I knew I could get hold of relatively easy. I think I just thought, I'll just re-record the reviews. And it only came about because I was doing some prep work for a video of like a head-to-head between this beer, the Aventinus from Schneider Weisse, and the Aventinus Eisbock. And then I just realised that, shit, I don't actually have a video review of this online. And it's a beer that I really like. So yeah, the Mine Aventinus, although I'm sure it used to be called Unser Aventinus, and this is TAP6, which is clocking in at 8.2%, and it is described as a Weizen Stark beer Doppelbock. So yeah, from the Schneider Weisse Brewery. I know that's not the proper name, but you know, the brewery is known the world over, and you can get a lot of their beers. I know the TAP6 series are quite popular within the craft circles back in the UK, and yeah, you can get some of the core range from some of the supermarkets back in the UK as well, which is always great to hear that these traditional high quality German brews are available much more affordably than they were just 2 or 3 years ago. So yeah, always great to hear that. And like I said, I've drank this beer plenty of times, and it's probably my favourite wheat beer in general, and my favourite beer from the brewery. So look out in the future for the head-to-head video that I will be doing. That should be quite interesting. So yeah, really pretty looking beer. I love the use of purple on this bottle. Just really nice and inviting, almost sultry as well. And there is the crown. But yeah, it's just a beautifully presented beer. And they're a brewery that put a lot of care and attention into their beers, and I think have they brought out a new summer beer? I'm not too sure, but their TAP6 stuff I really want to try more of. So anyway, I've waffled on for way too long already. You can probably hear my neighbours outside. I mean, it is Saturday evening, so it's still nice outside, so I'm having a few drinks. Can't begrudge them for that. Going to be using my Schneider Weisse wheat beer glass. I absolutely love this glass. Just feels so good to hold it. And yeah. Anyway, let's get the beer poured and see what we get. Of course, I pour it stupidly, so we're going to probably get a massive... Oh, no, it's okay. I was worried as it was going up the shaft. But I'll leave it like that for now and see how it changes when we look at it fully. That was a very clumsily constructed sentence. So, as is usually the case, a light is working against me right now, but it's got sort of like lovely, sort of like browny copper, yet ruby-like tones in there. Lovely amount of haze up the middle of the glass. But yeah, lovely sort of like warm sunset look to it. Beer poured with actually only about a finger's worth of maybe a tan beige looking head, but yeah, it looks rich and it looks inviting already, so we shall give it a little bit of a swizzle and see what we get on the aroma. Really big hit of like dark fruits. Get a very slight balsamic vinegar aroma in there as well, like a very slight tart sourness almost. It's got that slight booziness on the nose, but it's not like an alcohol, like ethanol sort of aroma that you get from some of the higher ABV beers. It's more of like a sherry, like a sweet sherry or a dessert wine in general, a cooking wine almost. It's got that sort of like lovely richness about it and a nice tart sweetness as well. Lovely, like dense malt character as well as he spills out on his leg. And yeah, there's this lovely like licorice, dandelion and burdock sort of aroma coming from it as well. Blackcurrant juice. It smells absolutely wonderful. I've had this bottle for a little while now because I was holding off drinking it because I wanted to find the right time to do the head-to-head, but I don't think that it's changed the flavour or the complexity of the beer. But yeah, just lovely, like grapey, blackcurrant, blueberries. That sort of aroma coming from it. Maybe a hint of cranberry as well. It just smells absolutely wonderful. So let's tuck into it. Prost. Absolutely world class. It's just a beautiful, indulgent, rich, robust experience. Lovely, like velvetiness on the body. Lovely smoothness. Wheat beers to me tend to rest very heavily on the gut, but this just has a little bit more of a, although higher in ABV because it's essentially a Doppelbock, it's that smoothness, and you do not pick up the alcohol at all on the taste, aside from maybe a slight warming as it's going down. But yeah, lovely dark fruity tones in there. Has a slight malt loaf or hot cross bun sort of flavour to it, but like sort of like a dense yeasted sweet dough sort of flavour. Lovely spicy tones on the tongue as well. Not sure how this has been hopped, but you do get that like slight prickliness that you sometimes get from hops. But yeah, that's just, it's, to me, it's like the perfect dessert beer. You've had a lovely rich meal, you know, traditional like Bavarian cuisine or something like that, like a big stack of meat, a lovely rich beer gravy, a little bit of sauerkraut on the side, like in a bread dumpling or something like that. And this just complements that sort of cuisine perfectly. It's by no means a light beer, although surprisingly drinkable if you just really take your time to enjoy those flavours. It's just such a lovely, rich experience. It really, really is. Maybe a like slight hint of an apple in there as well, more towards the back end. It's one of those beers where it's so complex. Like almost every sip, you either get a new flavour or a different like feeling from the beer. And it's just one of those beers where the only way you're not going to like this beer is if it's not your style, because there's really nothing in there for you to pick apart or criticise. It really, really isn't. Its fruity tones are just lovely. Slight cakey dessertiness, although not too sweet or cakey. It's getting that like yeasted dough sort of flavour, maybe slightly glazed as well. It's just such a lovely beer to get lost in. And definitely one of the finest beers that you can pick up here in Germany. And then when you get the Eisbock, of course the ABV is lifted to about 12%. So you get a much more intense experience from what I remember. Again, I'm just really looking forward to comparing those two beers because both of them are world class. I've already reviewed the Aventinus Eisbock, so we'll put that link down below for anyone who's interested. I have got a Schneider Weisse playlist, but it is criminally... Thank you. It's criminally small, and I've only got like 2 or 3 beers on there for whatever reason, so I've just got to get my hands on more Schneider Weisse beers. Oh no. But yeah, this is one of those ones where here in Germany I can pick this up relatively easily, so it's never going to be an issue for me in the short term. But if you're like back in the UK, or if you're in the States or in a territory where this appears every now and then, do yourselves a favour, pick up a bottle to drink then, and then maybe just tuck a couple away, because this is one that you could just cellar beautifully. And I think they've played around with barrel aging with this one. I'm not too sure, don't quote me on that, but I've seen on like Beer Advocate and stuff. I mean, this, like in a whiskey barrel or a brandy barrel or something like that, you could just add so much more to it. But as it is fresh or a couple of years old, you're gonna get a damn good drinking experience. And I go as far to say that it's a faultless drinking experience. It's not something you'd want to drink every day, not just because of the ABV and the complexity of flavour, but also if you have one of these once or twice a month, you know, space it out a little bit. You want a little bit of a treat for yourself that isn't really going to break the bank. This is the beer for you. And yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 from me. I'm actually really quite glad that I got to revisit this beer, because you guys know by now that I'm not a wheat beer fan. I just can't... My body can't tolerate wheat beers for whatever reason. I always feel like hangover gets amplified like 100% when I've drank a few wheat beers the night before. There's just something about the genetic makeup of the style that does not sit right with me. And I've always said, if you could do something interesting, if you add something to it, if you add complexities, if you hop it or whatever, add fruit to it, chances are I'm going to really, really enjoy the beer. And although not my favourite style, to put it lightly, this is just such a rewarding experience. And it's currently 8:45. That's my beer for the night. I'm going to enjoy, savour every drop of that. And I've got an Eisbock in the basement downstairs, but I won't open it. I won't do that because I've got stuff to do tomorrow. Anyway, if you've tried this beer, as always, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Are you a fan of the brewery? Are you a fan of the style? Are you a fan of wheat beers in general? Just hit me up in the comments. And yeah, if you've got any recommendations of beers like this that you think I would like, I'm always open to them. Check out Schneider Weisse down below. Check out the reviews that I mentioned. Check out the Schneider Weisse playlist. As always, if any of my good friends here on YouTube or people who I watch on a regular basis have reviewed this beer, their reviews are down below. And I hope you'll join me not only next time for whatever the next beer review may be, but also for when I put this bad boy up against the Schneider Weisse Aventinus Eisbock. That's going to be a drinking experience for sure. Thank you guys for watching. It's a long video. I don't care. I'm not going to edit it. And I think you guys secretly enjoy when I ramble on. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope whatever you're drinking, you're really enjoying it. And more importantly, I hope to see you guys next time. Cheers.